Get rid of all this nonsense.
You're not like going, right? You're not going live.
No, it's private right now.
Okay.
I just wanted to test the audio. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna be late.
Yeah. Sam just said that he fixed a thing, so he's gonna reboot and deploy, so that'll boot us from here, and then if we log in again, that should be good, and then we should be good to go after that.
Oh, I'm loving this audio.
I'm loving it.
The Espeth Park has like louder music than everything else, which I think I fixed today.
Good.
That caused mixing problems the other time. Oh, do I have to? I have to stand next to the microphone though. Okay, I think our audio is actually good right now with master at that level. Well, it is now 6:01. I hate this. Please work. Oh, yes, it works.
Awesome. All right. And Sam's doing it.
Hello?
Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Oh wait, so can you go to stop streaming? Oh, so you want to go? We're going.
We're
live
going.
now. Great.
Hi,
Hello,
everybody, and welcome to another Tyto Online live stream. I am still Caroline.
I'm still Kevin. Oh, I'm listening to Past Me. I'm going to mute me. All right, so we're showing off features coming up in next Monday's patch, which you know all about. I know nothing about, but I am still controlling all of this stuff. Well, this is an upgrade from last time. Check out what I can do. It's pretty cool,
What?
right?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I still can't control audio though, so please let us know in the comments if our audio is bad, because I need to know that. We tried to do our best beforehand. I'm pretty happy with these levels right now according to that screen. Okay. Yeah, so I'll let you take it away and I'll mess with some of this stuff some more.
All right. Well, we're starting off in the student district. It is a dark and not stormy night because it never rains in Espeth, even though it is a rainforest.
Don't tell them that. Don't give them ideas.
And we are going to head up to the academy, and we are going to play a new heredity quest called Geppetto Genetics. I started all the way down here instead of starting at the academy so that I would have time to just talk while we're doing this. This will not be in next week, but we are planning on adding another transit center to the student district so that you won't have to do this long trek to get up to the academy anymore.
I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, so am I. So is everybody. It is. It's very sad when you have to test a quest and you have to make this walk every single time. So up we go.
Very nice stairs, though.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't make them, but I was involved in their design. Oh.
I did say, oh, those stairs are good. I like those stairs.
All right, so here we go. Here is Tyto Academy, and
new and improved.
Yes, new and improved. And in fact, you know what? Why don't we do a tour first, because this is very important. Oh, fun fact: this dog Hilo exists, and he is like right outside the door, and he really wants to come in, but I'm not gonna let him in. Because there's no room for him to reach the camera, so you don't need to see him.
Don't worry, we're on all game right now anyway. I couldn't see him.
That's true. All right, so you may notice that Tyto Academy now has an interior. What? It was here the whole time. Really, it was. No, we just built this interior, but it's been the result of many weeks of work. And so you can now walk right into this building, and Dr. Renault no longer has to stand outside to get you to your Hilo.
She's abandoned Hilo. The dog Hilo.
Well, you know how dogs are. Sometimes they just don't want to come inside. You call, and they're like, nah, I'm out here.
Yeah,
I'm sure if we closed the door, he'd be like right up there, like, let me in. You know how dogs are. So yeah, this is lovely interior of this academy. As you can see, there are a couple of under construction signs because it is still under construction to a certain extent. This down here will be a transit center eventually, and we'll be building that in soon. And that's where you'll come out when you travel straight to the academy or from the academy.
Oh, okay.
And this staircase over here will lead you to a place that is a secret. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but eventually you will be able to go upstairs. Yeah,
it's upstairs.
It's the upstairs. Yeah, you can kind of see it. No, it's much more cool than that, but I won't tell you much about what is up those stairs.
Neither will I, because I just don't know.
Yep, we don't tell.
What's up there, Caroline?
I can't tell you.
Let the people know.
And here is another door that is also. You can't go inside. We had some players who were frustrated with doors that you can't go inside, and they didn't know why. So we've added some signs to doors so that you'll know which ones you can go inside and which ones you can't. We have our lovely welcome students sign here, because students are always welcome at Tyto Academy. And here is Tyto Advisor Esmeralda, who will help you out. And there is Tyto Advisor Jorge, who is pointing in the wrong direction, but that's okay. He's on his lunch break.
Is that his chair?
That is his chair. He's not sitting in his chair.
He's not sitting in his chair.
It's bad to sit all day. You want to stand.
Neither is Esmeralda.
So let's talk to Esmeralda for a second. Now you'll notice that there are some white squares on these dialogue options. We will get rid of those, but
don't pay attention to them.
Yeah, don't pay attention to them. They're not even here. So what Esmeralda and Jorge will do is they will give you directions to various places around Espeth, and they'll also give you a little bit of a backstory. So I'll do one of these dialogue chains so you can see it. I need directions. Where would you like to go? We're not gonna pick this one because it's a secret. So you'll have to play the game, and you'll have to find out what she says about that one. Let's talk about the biodomes. All biodomes and districts can be accessed via any of the main transit centers in Espeth. Just look for the building with 2 large pillars on either side, or check your map for the location of the nearest transit center. Could you tell me more about the biodomes? The biodome facility was built in 2096. It began with animals and plants from only one region of Earth, the Mojave Desert, but quickly grew to include 5 different regions. The biodome facility was originally intended to study the limits of a large-scale extraplanetary ecosystem. Of course, in the 40 or so years since its construction, it has become refuge for the very last of some plant and animal species. Tyto does manage several other biodomes elsewhere on Ovo, as well as on Halcyon. And remember, Halcyon is the moon of Ovo, one of the 2 moons. Not all of the species you see in Espeth's biodomes are critically endangered, and many species not included in Espeth's biodomes are being protected from extinction elsewhere. Do you need anything else? Oh, thank you. So she will. She wants to be helpful, and you can ask her questions. She'll give you a little bit of backstory. I'm pretty excited about that because I have known all of these details about all the locations for years, and there's just really no way to put that into a casual conversation. So I'm pretty excited that these little walking Wikipedias over here can tell you a little bit more about the non-essential backstory. Yes, look at all this backstory I have. Backstory over here, backstory over there. Well, thank you, Esmeralda.
And I don't have to VO those, right? Those don't have to be VO'd?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
and you're the one who has to do it, too.
Right.
I think we can get away with not doing it. It's not a doll map, so... the doll map is the background with the 2 characters on it.
The dialogue scene.
Yeah, the dialogue scene.
Which, are we going to see that now?
Are we?
That's a pretty good segue.
Oh boy, that is a good segue. Good for us. Alright, Espethy and Lawrence, and what is this? Lady Choggerly? What's up with that? It's a Chogwig over there. I wonder what's up. Let's find out. It's a miracle! I'm going to be famous! What's the good news? My pet Chogwig, Lady Choggerly, just had a baby, and it's a Geppetto! That sounds inaccurate. You'd think so, but the proof is right before your eyes. When I checked Lady Choggerly's nest this morning, I saw a Geppetto chick there. Now, why would a Geppetto be in Lady Choggerly's nest if it wasn't one of her babies? I don't even see a Geppetto.
That's a really good point, Lawrence.
That's because it's hiding. It was just born yesterday. Give it a break, and don't poke around in the Chogwig's nest, okay? You'll make her anxious. A Chogwig can't be the biological mother of a Geppetto. Bio what? You're just jealous that your pet Chogwig hasn't had a baby Geppetto. Anyway, you can't prove that Lady Choggerly didn't have a Geppetto baby. I'm going to be famous. Lady Choggerly, you'll go down in history as the first Chogwig mother of a Geppetto. Go ahead. If you convince me that Lady Choggerly can't be the mother of this Geppetto, I guess I'll change my mind. But you'll never convince me. So, Geppetto genetics. And the rewards... What? A Geppetto? Oh my gosh.
Geppetto? Is it the Geppetto that he has? Do you take the Geppetto from him?
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah?
Spoilers.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, I certainly want to get this Geppetto reward, so I'm going to accept this quest. Alright, so Geppetto genetics. First of all, I'm going to check with Alicia at the Animal Rehabilitation Center to see if she can give me any more information on Chogwig and Geppettos. Alicia is a professional animal rehabilitator, so if I was going to go somewhere for some more information on the different species of ovo, this is definitely where I would go, and she has been helpful before when we want to know more about animals. In fact, she is the one who taught us what a Chogwig was way back in Yosef's The Gutted Garden quest.
Why are you playing in first person?
Because that's how I like to play, Kevin. That's how I like it.
Player choice.
Yes. Fine, I'll play in
You don't want to show off your awesome character?
I do have an awesome character. Check out my cool duds.
Check out the corgi.
It's a Panganog.
Panganog shirt.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a corgi. Everything that.
No, your name is the corgi.
Oh yeah, it is the corgi. Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I like corgis. I have a corgi. Her name is Astrid, and she's a sweet little baby. She's not. She's terrible, but I love her.
I do have a question that's saying, are we moving Hilo inside or keeping him as an outside dog?
Well,
that's your decision.
I think that I'm probably going to move him inside because he looks a little bit lonely out there.
And anxious.
Lonely and anxious, just pacing back and forth. So there are dogs allowed at Tyto Academy. They keep the door open. So yeah, I'll probably move him in there by Monday's update. But he's just having a little fun in the sun right now. So let's talk to Alicia. Hello, how's your day going? So there's this Chogwig. Let me get this straight. He thinks that because he found a Geppetto in a Chogwig's nest, the Chogwig must have given birth to it?
That's just logic.
This sounds like the setup to some kind of joke. Did you clear things up for him? I'm not sure how to convince him. That sounds frustrating, but you can't expect people to take everything at face value, right? If you want to change someone's mind, you can't just tell them that they're wrong, you have to convince them. How should I do that? What you need is evidence. There are many reasons why a Chogwig can't give birth to a Geppetto. One of the most important ones has to do with species DNA. Species DNA? Every living thing has its own unique DNA. Only identical twins possess the same DNA sequence, but the DNA of two individuals can still be very similar, especially within the same species. Apologize. Imagine that every human being is a big bucket of water. Now imagine adding a single drop of food coloring to the bucket. All of the things that make you unique are contained in that tiny droplet. The rest of you is the same as everybody else. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Wow.
I'm just a paint bucket.
Anyway, all humans may be 99.5% identical to all other humans, genetically speaking, but within that tiny percentage is so much diversity. Being less than 1% unique is still plenty. It's supposed to say percent there. I'll fix that. I guess you're right about that. When two animals mate, it's as if each brings one half of the directions on how to build their offspring. If the animals are too different, it's like one species bringing half of the directions for a chair and one species bringing half the recipe for a pizza. It just won't work. A Chogwig couldn't have mated with a Geppetto to produce another Geppetto, and two Chogwigs can't have a Geppetto baby. That would be like following the recipe for a pizza and ending up with a wooden chair instead. It just isn't possible. And
but what if you could do that, though?
Do you want to bring up one of these complications, Kevin?
I'm just thinking about edible chairs right now.
I feel like
so hungry.
That's an idea that's not going to take off, edible chairs.
Were you talking? That's a really good idea. You can sit on it, and then once you're done sitting on it, you can eat it.
I mean, I guess it encourages people to stand at their desks, like Esmeralda.
That's true. That's a good point.
She's saving her chair for later, I guess. You don't want to eat a whole chair in one sitting, maybe but you have to do it in a standing, right?
Maybe you don't.
Maybe. Anyway, back to this quest.
Yes.
Sorry for the tangent, everybody.
I'm not.
I'm going to say, but lions and tigers can have ligers. That's true. A lion and a tiger can have an offspring called a liger, but even though they're a different species, they still share most of their DNA. And I'm going to say, oh, I see, but if you want to, you can ask Alicia these questions, and she'll answer them for you when you play the quest yourself. Does that help you out? I know what I should do. Well, you could start by looking around the area for more clues. That Geppetto had to come from somewhere, right? Maybe if you find out where the Geppetto came from, it will help convince Lawrence. I'm on a mission. Alright, so Alicia's given us some background about animal DNA and how you can't be too different or it just isn't going to work. So let's go back over here to Lady Choggerly's nest and maybe we can look around for some clues that might also help us to convince Lawrence that he is wrong. So I'm going to go over here and then I'm going to use my observe ability and oh hey look, the Geppetto came out of hiding randomly. Look at that.
Oh, we don't have the different scans on, do we?
We do. And ignore the fact that there are two Chogwigs.
There's another Chogwig right there.
That's not a thing that you need to see. But let's
look
look at
at
our
it.
evidence journal here. These are the things that we know right now. Both Chogwigs and Geppettos create nests. Genetically, Chogwigs and Geppettos are very different. Animals who are too genetically different cannot have offspring. Whoops. The Geppetto is too old to have been born yesterday, as Lawrence claims, and we found that out because it was a big old Geppetto standing there. And Lady Choggerly looks suspiciously at you.
I like that last one.
I'm sure that one's relevant. And when you scan Lady Choggerly, she will give you the information of any Chogwig. She's not, a special species called Lady Choggerly, so that's why this is showing up here. So yeah. Let's look for some more clues. Oh, hey, look at this. Here's a clue.
Wait, so they're doing the right thing.
And click on that. The Geppetto and the Chogwig that we could click on, those were actual quest objects. So.
Oh, there's a differentiator there. Okay.
Yeah. Quest objects are. What we're talking about now is how these Geppettos, if you look at them with your observe skill, you'll see that they kind of turn yellow and they start glowing. But when we used this observe skill and we saw that little glowing orb there, the glowing orb was a quest object, and quest objects will now glow white and be a wireframe. Animals who are not quest objects, like these guys over here, they will glow yellow, and we fixed that a little bit recently because it was a little bit difficult during quests to tell what exactly you're supposed to be clicking on, since all animals in the scene would look the same as clues.
Gotcha.
So so that's why that is happening, and it's a lovely yellow glow, and it certainly shows up against Espeth's greenish teal ground.
Blue.
Okay. So I don't know why this isn't going away, but you can just read about Geppettos. And a Geppetto Bambolina. A Bambolina is a baby Geppetto. So, alright, so I've gotten 7 out of 7 evidences, and I am going, no, that's not a word. 7 out of 7 of the evidence.
Evidence I.
Evidence I. So I'm going to talk to Lawrence again and present my arguments. Alright, why is there a baby Geppetto in Lady Choggerly's nest? It's not because Lady Choggerly is a Geppetto in disguise.
But man, what a twist. That'd be really good.
The Geppetto,
surprise.
The Geppetto cannot be Lady Choggerly's baby. Alright, let's tell Lawrence why. Well, first of all, genetically, Chogwigs and Geppettos are very different. And animals who are too genetically different cannot have offspring. So let's see how Lawrence takes this piece of evidence here. Oh, I guess that makes sense. How did the Geppetto end up in Lady Choggerly's nest? Well, I will tell you. Many Geppettos live near Lady Choggerly's nest, and there's a Geppetto nest with babies nearby, so one of them probably wandered in. What do you think of that, Lawrence? Ah, I guess it must have wandered from its own nest and gotten lost, huh? Could the Geppetto have been born yesterday, as Lawrence claims? That should be as I claim. Well, Geppetto is too old to have been born yesterday. It was really big. We saw it, and it was not the size of a baby. So, okay,
and
fine.
It wasn't a, what was the word for?
A bambolina.
A bambinina. It wasn't a bambinina.
Yes. And the reason why it is called bambolina is because that is the Italian word for, I believe,
baby Geppetto.
Doll. Well, the
oh,
Geppetto...
okay. That's fun. That's a fun little callback you did there.
Oh, yeah. The Geppetto is so called because it uses its tail as an elaborate way of mimicking its head. I worded that very badly. The tail of the Geppetto has the same coloration and is roughly the same shape-ish as the Geppetto's head. So when when two Geppettos do a mating dance for each other, they sort of pantomime a dating scenario with their tails. And if they like what they see, then they turn around and then they go on a little Geppetto date for real, and then they mate for life. And it's all very romantic, and they're called a Geppetto because they use their tail somewhat like a puppet. And Pinocchio is a puppet, and the puppeteer who made Pinocchio is named Geppetto. So
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And
that's
so,
the reference I got.
Yeah, so if it's a puppet, then I thought like a doll. That would be a cute name for the baby. So that is the story behind the name. But let us complete this quest now that we've convinced Lawrence. Now I feel kind of dumb.
Oh, do you, Lawrence?
It's understandable. Oh well, she's my special little Choggykins, right? Now, what am I gonna do about this Geppetto? It's pretty cute. Oh, look at that! It's getting up out of the nest. Wait, now it's looking up at you. It seems like it wants to follow you.
Oh, this is the twist. Oh, this is exciting.
Yes! Well, I guess I'll stay here with Lady Choggerly. Thanks for setting me straight about the whole Chogwig Geppetto thing. Could you maybe not mention it to anyone else? Sure thing. See you around. Alright, well.
I like how Lawrence isn't really shaken up about it. She's like, oh, my baby Geppetto has abandoned me.
Well, I mean, like, it's not really his Geppetto. He's all about Lady Choggerly. Lady Choggerly is his good friend. He was just happy for her, but it turns out that it was all a misunderstanding, so he's fine. He and Lady Choggerly are just hanging out now.
It seems like this Geppetto you just got is an extremely confused Geppetto.
It needs a role model in its life.
Oh, that's cool. I have not seen this UI.
Oh yeah, the pet UI is different than how it has been in the past. I will summon my new pet.
Oh, that's cool.
I named her Preeny because she likes to preen. She doesn't. She just likes to look around.
No,
because you're looking around.
Wait, so you did this quest before?
I did, yes.
So if you didn't and you got this Geppetto, does it have a name? Do you have to give it a name beforehand, or what happens?
If you get your Geppetto for the first time, its name will be Geppetto. But if you press C and go into your character sheet and go onto your pets tab, you can rename your pet quite easily by
whatever you
changing
want.
its name. So yeah. There we go. Now it's
just
a corgi.
both corgi.
No, I like Preeny. She looks like a Preeny. That's her name. Okay. Come along, Preeny. So the next thing that I'd like to show you is a type of quest that we are still working on, but I want to give you a little teaser of what we're working on for our heredity module. So I'm going to go down the stairs here. I'm going to take the fast way.
Just
Boom!
jump. Yes.
There's no fall damage in Espeth. And pets, they will follow you to the ends of the earth. And if you get too far away from them, they will teleport so that they can get back to you.
I think Preeny's stuck. There
she is. So, yeah, there's nothing worse in a game than a pet that gets stuck behind a rock and then you can never find it again. So that does not happen in Tyto Online.
So these are the quests that just got put in, right?
Yes, these are actually, these have some placeholder elements, but I can just show you how they look. Tyto Student Chen has this. So this is a dialogue from a previous from a previous quest, it is actually Elinar's trash quest. So he is using Elinar's dialogue right here and asking you to pick up trash. But just ignore that. He's lying. So you'll notice that there are suddenly 2 desert tortoises over here in the student district. They are an invasive species. They should not be there, but
they're just standing
for testing purposes,
still.
we have them. They're just walking very slowly. They're very slow animals.
Don't move, they can't see you.
So we need to use our DNA extractor on these animals, and what we're doing is these are 2 parents for this type of quest that we're doing. So we need to extract their DNA so that we can find out what their genes are, and then we can do something with them later. So I'm going to tranquilize it so that I can
yeah, I gotta make sure.
This DNA. You found the
it's staying
parent.
still.
Desert tortoise, you are the parent.
Oh, you got him. Good.
Got him.
It's really fast.
All right. So I'm going to go back to Chen here. How marvelous. Yes, indeed.
Oh, jeez. Keep getting out of the dialogue scene so fast. I keep switching to all game for the dialogue scene.
And there was supposed to be a Punnett square there, but it was not. It was not there. But
what?
I showed you the parents part. I think I should have gone and looked on the quest logger. So I apologize for that. But we will eventually be having quests where you can have 2 parents. You scan the parents to find out what their genes are, and then you create a Punnett square out of that parent's genes. So, and then you find out what the probability for genes showing up will be. So, yeah, Punnett square stuff. Punnett squares are pretty important to heredity, and if you do not know what one is, we will soon be teaching you. So,
cool. Punnett squares are just fun. I know what a Punnett square is. It's like game theory. It is like there's squares. Whatever, we won't get into what game theory is.
Okay.
But yeah, you said he had Elinar's dialogue?
Yes.
So does that mean Elinar, is that one of the placeholder assets, or does that mean Elinar? Okay.
No, this is
Gotcha.
The quest that we just played is all placeholder stuff. So yeah, you will not be able to play Chen's quest on Monday. That's not releasing, but I did want to give a little bit of a tease for what we're doing. So yeah, while you're testing in a video game, sometimes some pretty crazy stuff gets in there. But yeah. So, we saw the Academy, and we did our new Heredity quest with Lady Choggerly, and we learned about how 2 animals who are too genetically dissimilar cannot procreate, which is a very important thing to know. And we got to have a little bit of a taste of what the Punnett Square quests are going to be like once those are implemented. And yeah, that's about all that we have, unless I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting something?
I don't think you're forgetting anything, but I wouldn't know in the first place. I feel like you covered more than I thought we were going to cover, including the heredity stuff.
Well, under promise and over deliver. That's what I always
exactly.
say.
So I guess I'll switch to full screen. So I guess that's where we're going to sign off. We're going to be back in 2 weeks to show off additional feature. I assume 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And do you have well, you said right here that the sneak peek was like more heredity quests, more Punnett squares and whatnot. Is that what we're going to be showing off, or is it going to be some totally separate?
I believe so. I think that we will be able to show off the final Punnett Square quests, and we'll actually be able to do some with you, with the actual Punnett Squares, and you'll be able to see them. And there will be no desert tortoises in the student district. We will put them back in the Mojave. We do not have to worry about invasive species.
Okay, well that sounds good. Yeah, that's it. Guys, check us out in 2 weeks, and other than that, see ya.
Bye.